Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When I first became a Muslim, I was maybe 1 or 2 years in, and I got the opportunity to make Umrah. And I was in Saudi Arabia, and we went to a McDonald's. Now, I wasn't used to places where they divide between the sexes. Men on one side and women on another. And so it was an order counter. I stepped up to the order counter. There were people there. I stepped in the middle of them because they were discussing. It looked like they were looking at the menu or discussing something else, but they were all standing in line, but no one was ordering. So I stepped in and started to place my order. And all the conversation around me went silent. But I made my order and then I left. And when I came back to pick it up, I noticed why there was so much whispering now and conversation going on around was because it was a woman's side. And I was standing in the line surrounded by all these females. But at that moment, I just took my food and left. And I didn't really think much of it. Years later in Egypt, when I was studying Arabic, we were at the Arabic Center and I had to go and pick up my family, my wife and children from the women's side of the Arabic Center. But then when I came and was about to approach the door, there were some females standing outside of the doorway and I hesitated. To the point where I didn't even approach until they got their children and left. And then I stepped to it. And I thought back to that time at the McDonald's and how my state of mind has changed from when I was a first new Muslim to that point that day. And it made me realize how Islam has changed me internally. And I felt happy in a way of being able to show my children who I actually am with integrity, instead of a mentality that it has layers to it, where some can be shown and some can't be. The state of mind of having that awareness as to this might be someone's wife, this is someone's sister, you don't want them to feel uncomfortable, and also a sense of shyness for myself and my own reputation for my wife as to not have her husband surrounded by this is a type of thinking that it should be a role model type passing down onto the children. And I'm glad to have that. As to the state of mind from before, that, it ignores all of that and would be very disrespectful if someone were to place my daughter in that type of position, or my wife in that type of position, or my sister in that type of position. I wouldn't appreciate it. And this is just one example of how Islam has made me a better person. And I can only keep saying, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.